I am Zack Ward, and you are watching The Red Booth Show. Enjoy.
Hi, welcome to The Red Booth Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Q. On tonight's episode, I have actor and filmmaker Zack Ward. So, come and join us. Well, hey Zack, how's it going?
It's going great. How are you?
I'm happy to have you here on the show.
I'm excited to be here.
Well, I know that you're doing a lot of things nowadays, making movies and producing, as well as acting, obviously.
Yeah.
So I thought it'd be really cool to get an update because, you know, you originally, I think, came on the scene on the movie A Christmas Story, which was your big breakout role.
It was a couple years ago.
Yeah, just a little while ago.
Like yesterday.
Just the other day. And so, yeah, I'd love to hear kind of, you know, what you're doing now.
Okay. Sweet. Should I start?
Go ahead.
Well, about me. Let's see. I produced a couple of feature films, about 3 of them, and 2 of them I've written. One of them I've directed. I directed this movie called Restoration. It's out. You can go rent it or buy it. Hulu, Redbox, and Amazon. What was really cool about it is my mom's in it.
Oh, nice.
So my mother is now 82 years old. She's been an actress since she was 24.
Really?
And doing a scene where I'm directing her is both the high point of my life and one of the most terrifying things I've ever done, because she could, spank me in front of the crew. So that was an amazing experience. Been doing a lot of writing. In the last 2.5 years, I've written 7 movies and 5 have been made. And right now I'm in the
That's
process.
a good ratio.
It's not bad.
That's
well,
pretty good. I mean,
they, most of them, let's be honest, most of them were writer for a hire job. So
Okay.
I'm not a magic person, but the one I'm doing right now is called Fracture, F-R-A, big X-T-U-R, because the kids like the big X apparently.
Okay.
It's a sci-fi dystopian future series that we're doing young adult, and we start going into production in December.
Exciting.
So we're very jazzed about that. So
It's a feature film.
no, this is a series.
Oh, cool.
So I'd never done that before.
Where's it going to be airing on or playing on?
At this moment, we don't know. The goal is that, we're financed and we're shooting it. We got an 8-part miniseries, and what we're doing is we're structuring it so that we can do 8 episodes, but what if it's fantastic? And then we go another season. So it's kind of like shooting a moving target from a moving platform. But the world that we're in is so cool and fun and sexy, and it's like a graphic novel. So
Whoa.
yeah, it's
like
kind of
Sin City kind of thing, or
no. When I meant sexy, I didn't mean actual sex. I meant just like the way it flows together.
No, I meant the movie.
I know. No, the series. So
Okay.
So the original concept was my producing partner on this. His name is Chris Ray, and he had called me up and he had a concept. He's like, okay, it's like the game Fallout, the video game Fallout.
Okay.
I said, okay.
That's like the nuclear.
Yeah,
Everybody's
you come out of the bunker and you go fight the mutants and the creepy
Right.
things, and you got the Pip-Boy on your wrist, right?
Okay.
He's like, it's like the world of Fallout. I said, okay. And he goes, with teenagers. I was like, so they're in the Fallout world? He goes, no, they're modern teenagers in the Fallout world. I'm like, wow, how do they get there? No idea. Write that. I was like, okay. So I had no idea what I was doing. And it's been pretty much an uphill battle. But once you start landing out the structure of how these things work, and then figuring out the characters and the environment and the story, then moving them through it, like finding the voice of it. I know this sounds boring, but
No, it's not.
it's
and you're writing it.
yeah.
So
And
that's
I'm-
really
I'm-
cool.
writing a movie by yourself is one thing. Writing a series by yourself is Herculean and very intimidating. But like the first episode, I wrote 4 times because the story was there, but the voice wasn't there.
Well, that really shows the story from the first episode is all.
Yeah, exactly.
Starts it off,
And it's like, well, as a writer or as an actor, when you do a scene, you're like,
Yeah.
I mean, I said the lines and I was there, but it kind of sucked. I don't know why. And then you find that nuance that just makes it land. And so that's what's got me Twitter-pated about the whole process is that, I'm a big kid.
You're perfecting it.
Yeah, I'm perfecting it, but I got
Yeah.
a lot of really cool characters that do really wacky, neat stuff. And yes, there's violence and it's scary, but then they're also funny and they're real and they're in the situation. They're still 15 to 18 years old, and so they're kind of dicks, like most teenagers are dicks. And you never grow out of that, by the way. You grow up to be a dick. Proven point. So, but it's fun to try and find that balance, and knowing that we're you've got this deadline looming when you go into production. It's a lot of fun.
That is so cool. So who's the company that's like decided, okay, let's greenlight this, let's fund this?
Well,
for you?
it's independently financed. So this is part of the other methodology when it comes to Hollywood nowadays, because the studios, it's not like when I was doing Titus. Back in the day, you do a pilot, they pick it up, off you go.
Right.
But they drop a couple of million for that pilot.
Right.
And the studio system used to do 20 comedies and 20 dramas, and so that's 40 million here and probably like 80 million here, and out of that they pick 10. They don't do that anymore. They want to see how things are working. Does it have traction? Does it look good? Is it a good idea? Does it have good social media following?
Before they pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Right.
Okay, now we have to take a break though,
Yeah.
but we'll come back and we will continue
Yay.
talking with Zack Ward on the Red Booth Show.
I really wanted to put a deck on my house.
The floor was creaking and there were cracks in the wall.
I had them put in walls in my basement.
Well, the whole thing was done on time, on budget, and not a day of work was missed.
Alpha Structural is a top-rate company. I'd recommend them to anybody.
If you live in a hillside home and gravity is pulling you towards the edge of the cliff, I recommend you call Alpha.
It was a real pleasure to work with Alpha.
And welcome back to the Red Booth Show. I'm here with Zack Ward. Sorry, he's just been cracking me up during the break. So
What we're supposed to do.
yeah, well, if only the cameras were rolling, right?
Right.
Too bad. Anyways, so all right, so you were talking about the studio system and the fact that
Yeah.
you now have to just kind of like make the show. So I'm guessing you guys went and got an investor from somewhere.
We did. We got an independent investor, and I mean, really, what our hope is make 3 or 4 of the episodes. We're shooting it all in a row, but then have that posted, turn around, show the big boys what we got cooking, and they fall in love with it and they want to bring it up to the next level. That would be the wet dream. But honestly, at this moment, it's like it's great to be creating something that once you're putting it on paper or digital paper, that within months you're going to see it actually performed and be involved in it. And
That's a big deal.
It is, and
Yeah.
especially when you get to it's one thing to write it for someone, they go off and do it, and then you kind of just wait for the end result. But when you're also a
Producer, right?
executive producer, involved in it and helping with the creative, it's a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
What kind of, I don't know if you can answer this question, but what kind of a budget are you dealing with on a project like this with this many episodes?
You're right. I can't answer that question. Well, and the reason why you don't want to answer that question, for
Yeah.
those of you at home, is, well, what if it was $1 million per episode,
Yeah.
but it looked like crap? Would you want to say $1 million an episode? Yeah.
Right.
And then if you made something for $10,000 an
Right.
episode and it looks amazing, and someone says, "What did you spend on it?" You go, "I don't know. What do you think I spent on it?"
Right.
Because then maybe they'll pay you more money for it. So
That's true.
it is kind of the whole job is do the best you can with whatever budget you have, and then if someone says that looks like $1 million, you shut up and go,
Yeah.
okie doke.
Yeah.
So that's it. Yeah.
That's awesome. And okay, so you are doing this series, but you also said you shot the one with your mom.
Yeah, the movie Restoration,
Restoration.
and another film Bethany that I produced, another one Don't Blink with Mina Safari and Brian Austin Green. But the one I directed is Restoration. So yeah.
So that was that. Have you directed as a feature film before that?
That was my first feature film I'd ever done.
Wow.
Yeah, it was horrible. I mean the movie's really good, but the experience is
Of directing?
No, I loved it, but it's the difficulty of depending upon what your team is that you're working with.
Yeah.
And making a movie is like kind of going to battle.
Yeah.
The people talk a good story, but then when they're in a foxhole with you, they show their true colors. And some of those people you may never want to talk to again. But it's a great
true
experience.
though. There's a lot of pressure
Yeah.
on set, I feel like if you have the right people you've worked with, that's why people end up sticking with the same people, right?
That's
Yeah.
perfect example using old guys, Clint Eastwood and Steven Spielberg.
Mm-hmm.
And Clint Eastwood, I don't know if you in the world are aware of this, but he's renowned for starting work at 9 a.m. and being on the golf course at 3 p.m. every day. And he
I
makes
had no
really good
idea.
film. Yeah, that's his thing. He works with all the same guys because they know what he wants. When he explains it, they're speaking the same language and they move. So yeah, communication's
That's good,
everything,
though,
and
because-
work ethic. Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
And then they don't have to also stay on set for the ungodly
Right.
amount of hours.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, what was Restoration about?
Restoration actually was based on a true story. It's a psychological suspense horror film,
Okay.
but it was based on a true story. So
That's even freakier.
It's even freakier.
That's totally freaky.
So my fiance, her brother, is a general contractor up in Seattle, and he was working on this really old building, and he found a Ouija board behind the wall. But it was a lath and plaster wall. So for those of you
in
at
the
home,
wall.
in the wall.
What the?
So normal walls nowadays are easy to put up, but lath and plaster back in the day is a lot of work. So somebody disliked someone else so much that they put this thing behind the wall and plastered over it, hoping to curse them, because as a legend goes for Ouija boards, if it's got a bad mojo on it, you take it out to a cemetery, you burn it, and you put it in holy ground to get rid of the evil spirits.
Oh, right, yes.
That's
That's what I usually
Well,
do.
it says on the back of the box,
Yeah.
Hasbro recommends that. You know, they don't say the same thing with the Transformers games. Very different. Or Candyland, I don't know why. But so apparently that was a legend around these things, meaning that I don't believe that it exists, but somebody did, and they stuck it in someone's wall, so they were a vindictive, angry human being. So when he found that, and he actually gave it to me, I have it in my house, so that's creepy. But I thought, wouldn't that be awesome to have a family, a couple, move into a house and start messing around building stuff, and they find something, and that leads to the mystery of what's happened here as this ghost starts talking to them, and you have to discover that. So
That's
that was
cool.
all. Yeah, it was pretty.
So like
neat.
they're restoring this old house kind of a thing. Is that
Restoration. That's
hence
the name of it. Yeah.
Wow, I feel smart.
You do.
Yay. Well, that's awesome that you
Thank
directed
you.
it.
Got very good reviews. We did very well. Very happy. I'm proud of it.
Cool. Do you intend to do more directing, or do you like to stick to the producing? Or...
I honestly, producing sucks. Let's be honest. Producing is the worst job.
Aww.
Ask any producer. Unless you're making a ton of money, everybody's rude to you. Everybody thinks you're rich. Everybody wants to tell you what your job should be, that you're not doing your job. You know, all you need to do is this one thing. You're like, I know, I've been up since 4 a.m. doing all that, and you went to break, and I have to work. So producing is the most unfulfilling to a certain degree, and everybody craps on you every chance they get. Directors
That's
get
being any kind of boss, though. Isn't
I
it?
don't know. The director and the actors get all the prestige.
Right.
So as a producer and a writer, no one cares that you exist. As a director and an actor, you're the best, but you can't get anything done without the writer and the producer, which I find funny. So I love directing, and I love writing, and I love acting. Producing I do out of necessity,
Right.
because I watch all these other movies that are horrible, and I've worked with so many directors and producers that are borderline brain damaged that I just was challenged to do better myself. So I did.
So you're like, I'm just gonna do this myself and figure it out and do the producing, and there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, I feel like that's what people have to do kind of nowadays. Like,
Yeah.
if they want to create their projects, get into producing.
Do it yourself.
Yeah. Wow. So, okay, good. And so what do you have in the works for, actually, sorry about this. We have to take a quick break.
Is it a commercial break?
It is. It's a commercial break. And we'll
Enjoy these commercial ads from your local sponsor. And they're delicious.
We'll be right back with Zack Ward.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
And welcome back to the Red Booth Show. We are here with actor Zack Ward.
Oh my God. I think my face stuck like that. I was horrible.
He was holding his breath throughout the entire
It's
commercial
called
break.
commitment to a bit.
That was pretty
It may
awesome.
not have been funny, but it was.
Okay, so I wanted to talk with you about your plans for like what you want to do in the future.
World
like,
domination. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
okay. World domination. No, but so you're getting into more filmmaking. You have the series coming out, and what else?
Well, outside of film, I just had an episode of American Horror Story that I did. Two of those came out, and
Oh,
I
wow.
did a
That's
TV
exciting.
show. Yeah, that was good. It was episode 1 and 2. Episode 1, I'm basically a guy in the background at stove. But what's great is they listed my credit as one of the clowns.
Really?
So all these people on Twitter are like, oh my God, which clown were you? I'm like, I take that personal. The red hair is natural. Now you're just being racist. But yeah, so I did American Horror Story, and then I did this TV show called Swedish Dicks.
Oh
Dicks
yeah,
as
that's
in
amazing.
detectives, yeah.
Tracy Lords and Peter Stormare.
Keanu Reeves.
That's right. No,
He's an up-and-comer. The kid's got moxie. I think he might make it. Yeah, so it was, and that's one of those shows like,
that's a really funny show.
it really, thank you.
Yes.
And I'm not just saying that because I'm in it, but in the world.
I'm just saying it because you're
You've
in
watched
it.
it.
I have.
You have
I've
watched
seen
it. So,
No.
and honestly, like when I go, you audition for a lot of different stuff, and you go on shows that I won't make fun of right now, but you in the America world have all seen them, and they're horrible. And you get these scripts, and literally you're going through like, is it comedy? Yeah, okay. I mean, it's the comedy. Not funny. Swedish Dick script.
So funny.
Laugh out loud funny. And the
Yeah.
leads, like you've seen it.
Yeah.
Peter Stormare and then the little blonde
I
guy.
know, I know.
His name is Peter. No, Jan or something.
Okay.
They're both Swedish. And the Swedes, I think this will make sense. The Swedes are so uptight and politically correct. They make Canadians look like Americans. Does that make sense? Because I'm Canadian, I can say that. Yeah. They are so funny though, dude. It was the best. I had so much fun. I was shooting both at the same time, American Horror Story and Swedish Dicks.
Wow, what a total
Oh my
opposite.
God!
Yeah.
Totally different world.
Yeah.
One's got more money than God, and the other one is a team of rascals trying to get a good thing done.
I know Peter's the one that produced that show.
I know.
Yeah.
I was in a dressing room. We were sharing a dressing room. Me, him, and like 3 other dudes. And he's putting on his pants like, the first season I had to put it on my credit card.
Yeah.
That's the horrible Swedish accent. I apologize to everyone from Sweden. But yeah, that was fantastic. So I've been doing that.
That's awesome.
The Christmas season's coming up every year. I do charity fundraisers around the country for bully prevention programs, blah, 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 because I was Skip Farkas.
Because you were the bully.
Because I was the bully.
Yeah.
So I'm doing that, and then the other thing that I'm doing right now is called All Sports Market. I have just been appointed the CEO of a financial tech company, and I am heading up the West Coast division of All Sports Market, which is, to explain it very quickly, it is a sports stock market. It is the first one in the history of the world. It has never existed before. It is exactly like
You buy into the
New York-
Rams or something?
You buy the shares in the Rams.
Right.
And then you watch your shares go up or go down, and then you can sell them, you can trade them, you can short them, you can buy highs, you can do all
So
that
they
stuff.
don't have already stocks for this?
It's never existed in the history of the world. We created this, and we've been running a what's called a data model for the last 3 years. So think about it like when a pharmaceutical company makes medicine, they don't just throw it at people. They're like, we should check this first. They give
Right.
it to mice and the rats and the monkeys and all this stuff. So they call that the clinical trials. So we've been running our clinical trials for 3 years now, and now we're going to be coming out to the public. We're getting regulated, which means we have to go through all this fun licensing stuff with the federal
Oh, I'm
government.
sure, yeah, with all of the stock
Yeah.
market, yeah.
Oh, it's huge, but it's much better than doing what Bitcoin does, and which means just getting shut down because you run too fast. So I'm really excited about
Bitcoin's
it.
getting huge, though, I think.
Yeah, no.
No, you don't think so?
It's huge if you're in the black market. The problem is the American dollar, which the original stock market in New York. We're gonna get deep for a second. People, hold on. This is gonna be interesting, and there will be a test at the end of the piece. Here we go. The stock market in New York created America.
The
because
New York Stock Exchange.
The New York Stock Exchange
Right.
created America because it created the opportunity to invest in the United States, and therefore it could control the economy and the dollar. The American dollar is the standard around the world. When you start messing with that, like Bitcoin is, you get shut down. And the problem that they went through is they moved faster than the regulation could. Now, using a smarter guy, Elon Musk, the guy from Tesla and
I
everything
love
else.
Elon Musk.
Dude, high five it.
He's like
He's
my
awesome.
idol. He's my friggin' idol.
And he's so cute, right? And he's
Oh, he's
always
so
high.
cute.
He's always smoking
No,
weed.
he's not. I don't
Big
believe
time.
you.
All right, that's
way.
okay. We'll go with your idea. But when he created PayPal, right? Like,
Yeah.
you remember PayPal
Yes.
back in '95? They were launching it, and everybody was getting it, and they were moving a lot of money. And suddenly, they got a knock on the door from the federal government, going, "You're operating as a bank.
Yeah.
You can't do that, and you need to abide and comply to the regulations."
Right.
That's what we're doing.
Right.
So, and then we're going to launch the coolest thing in the world.
Awesome.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty sweet. I'm a CEO of stuff now, so you know,
you're big time.
technical term, like Steve Jobs, but richer, poorer, and dumber. Yeah, it's fine.
Well, on that note,
Yes.
we have to take another break.
Yay.
We'll be right back with Zack Ward.
Bye, everybody.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. Already posted it.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
And welcome back to the Red Booth Show. I'm here with Zack Ward.
Still me.
Okay, so we've heard a lot about what you've been doing lately and the future.
Sure.
I thought it would be fun to hear the story of how you got into acting in the first place and how you got your
Really?
part. Yeah.
Okay. You're talking about Christmas Story then?
Sure. I mean,
Sure.
was that the first?
That was the first movie I ever did.
Okay.
And talk about lucky.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, crazy lucky. Oh, so let me tell you that story then.
Okay.
That's easiest. So I had first done commercials beforehand. My mom's an actress. I decided I want to become an actor when.
Yeah, you said your mom has been an actress since she was 24.
Yeah, she studied at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Acting in England,
Wow.
and she was
She's
highfalutin.
British?
No, she's from Long Island, New York.
Really?
Boop. Yeah, and she used to.
That's
her-
my makeup artist.
I'm booping the makeup artist.
She's from New York.
Boop, because
Yeah.
she's from New York. All right,
Yeah.
that's a New York boop out. So, but my mom from Long Island would talk like this. She was paying me hi and how are you?
And this- oh my-
yeah,
and
had
she
this
went to
horrible
New
voice.
York?
She goes to
I mean,
no,
she
she
goes-
went to
she went to
London.
London.
To Royal Academy of Dramatic Acting in England, and now she comes back speaking like this. And of course, when she's angry with me, she's like, "Oh, Zacharias,
No.
you're so disappointing." Like, Mom, you're not English or the Queen. But so she went out there. She came back and started working. And then when I was a little kid, I was watching plays, and she was explaining plays to me. And literally, there was a moment, a eureka moment, where I was excited about this play called Taming of the Shrew. It's a Shakespearean play.
Yeah, wow.
And my mom had explained it to me, and there was a dirty joke in there. That's what Shakespeare does. And when the guy did it, he sucked. And at the age of 8, I'm like, I'm better than that guy. That's literally how my career started.
Wow.
Because I'm a jackass. I'm like, I can do it better than this. That's why I started producing and directing. So kids always think you're better than other people.
There you go.
So
The key to success.
Key to success is, I can beat that guy. So I started doing commercials when I got back to Toronto, auditioning. I got a couple, and then when I was 13, I got this audition for Christmas Story, and literally, it's what we call a cattle call. And cattle like cows, because there's
Like hundreds of kids.
hundreds of kids. So it was like
Yeah.
300 down to 200, 150, 50, 10, and I get the job. But here's a deep, dark secret. I wasn't the bully. I was a sidekick. All I said was, "Nah, you're Aunt Tilly." That's like all my lines. So I get the job, but it's on camera. Back in the day, that was magic of VCR, brand new thing. And so I go to set. I'm all excited. I get to meet the director. The wardrobe woman says, "Bob Clark, here's your Scott Farkas. Here's your Grover Dill." I'm a little taller than him, right?
Right.
And Bob looks up and he goes, oh, because he'd never seen us side by each.
Right.
I'd never met him before. He goes, you get his lines, he gets yours.
Oh, man.
That changed my life.
Good deal for you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, fantastic deal for me. So that was my first feature film, and that was how that changed, and that's how I became Scott Farkas, the most beloved jackass in the world. So weird. I'm the guy people love to hate. They're like, oh, I watch you every Christmas. Get punched in the face. It's the weirdest thing.
That's got to be so funny. Like, so
It
for
is.
decades now, like, you're known as the bully, and people approach you with that in
with
mind,
a big smile on
and
their
they
face.
think you're like this total jerk.
Oh, let's be honest.
equate
I
you.
am a jerk.
Do you
It's
think
okay.
do you think you became a jerk because of that character, or you already were a jerk?
So we have established that I am one. It feels like home. Well, I went to 8 different schools before junior high. I was raised without a dad. I didn't play any hockey in Canada. That's where I'm from.
That's terrible. You were deprived of hockey?
I didn't. No, I couldn't go anywhere to play. There's no dad. There's no money to go do something. And I was at 8 different schools. A new kid with red hair named Zach with a miniature poodle named Tinkerbell. Now, on the Tinkerbell thing, I was 7 years old. The only redhead I knew of was Peter Pan. Peter Pan's sidekick is Tinkerbell.
Tinkerbell.
Thank you for jumping in. Great timing.
So,
and so I named my dog
I was
Tinkerbell.
thinking of the Lost Boys.
I know, but you were
All
wrong.
right, okay.
The guest is always right. So I named my miniature poodle Tinkerbell because it was a puppy. It was cute. My mom wasn't gonna. She didn't have the savvy to be like, "Hey, sweetheart, why don't you give it a middle name of Tinkerbell and name him, you know, Magnum P.I. as a first name. That'll help you not get your head kicked in at recess." But no, so it was constant ass beatings for my entire life up until that, pretty much.
Oh, no.
So my job as Scott Farkas was imitating and mocking the guys who beat me up, and then I think just the red hair thing and the character combined to make this perfect jerk you've seen in front of you. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's an amazing story. But I'm sorry you had to go through.
Somebody had to.
You know, I'm the hockey too. I mean, how can you not get to play hockey?
It's a very expensive sport, man.
Yeah.
It's expensive. Yeah.
Well, I'm really glad that you did get to play that part.
Thank you.
And that you're going around and doing, you know, charity with it and
Yeah, it's
everything
fun.
too.
It really is.
Help fight back against the bullies, actually.
Yeah, exactly. And the coolest thing is when you're in a parade and you're waving at people around Christmas, the parents hold up their kids. And I go, "Who wants a beating?" And all these parents go, "Beat my child!"
What?
And I point, I'm like, "Yeah, you punch."
kidding me?
Oh, it's the best. And the kids are like, "Yay!"
They think it's
and I'm
awesome.
pointing at them that I'm going to punch them. They're like, "Yeah, do me next." I'm like, "Yeah." I don't know how I became this character who's a jackass and beloved at the same time. It's awesome.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's
It's
crazy.
really cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, it's been so much fun having
been a
you
treat.
on the show.
Thank
and
you.
he's actually really nice, guys,
Yeah.
just so you know. And and I look forward to watching, you know, the new series.
Thank
What's
you.
it called again?
Fracture.
Fracture.
F-R-A-X.
And I hope
C-U-R.
all the digital platforms are fighting over it and giving you
Right?
millions of dollars.
Be awesome.
Of course.
That'd
Okay,
be
good.
fantastic.
Well, thanks again.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.